Hi everybody, it's Tim Shea with the Shea Group Realty of Keller Williams in Beverly, Massachusetts. I'm here with another Hump Day helper and helping you stay connected and getting to know your neighborhood. And today I brought in a special treat. I brought in a great friend and a trusted resource, Cesar Prescott Dog Coach. Sarah, thanks so much for taking time today.
You're welcome, Tim. It's great to be here. Thank you for asking me.
Oh, you're welcome. It's been long overdue. So why don't you tell us a little bit about yourself? What's your background?
Well, I grew up in California and ended up out on the East Coast, married my husband Jonathan, and we have two kids. They're now 25 and 21, so they've grown and are out of the house. And but when the youngest was in 8th grade, I could see the writing on the wall. There was actually light at the end of the tunnel. You children really do grow up. And I was excited, and I was at a loss too. Like, well, who am I if I'm not a mom, if I'm not busy doing all this busy stuff? And so what I did was I went back to my roots. I thought about what I really loved. And growing up, we always had dogs. I was in 4-H, and as a kid, worked with guide dogs for the blind.
Oh, really?
And
okay.
Raised puppies for them. So it was always a lot of fun. And my mom was a dog woman and a big advocate and a really great trainer. So my sister and I learned lots from her. So when I was at that point of wondering what to do, I just thought about dogs and realized that people really needed a lot of help right in their household.
Yeah.
They're not able to go to a class. They can't walk their dog. What are they going to do?
Yeah.
So I come into people's houses, work with them one-on-one, and show them little ways that they can improve their relationship with their dog.
Okay, great. I know you were recently just out in California and you were doing a retreat with Cesar Millan. How was that?
It was amazing. He is just as magnetic in person as he is on television.
Yeah.
And his energy, his way of working with the dog is real. What you see on TV is just what he's doing in person.
Yeah.
So it was really wonderful to learn from him and connect with him too.
Yeah, you make a great point about energy, and we were talking before we got started here about my old dog. I had a Weimaraner, and I had also had many dogs growing up, and I had always trained them what I thought to be well enough, and then I get this different beast. She was a Weimaraner. She was a natural hunting dog, and she was just 100 miles an hour all the time, and I actually had to go and retrain myself as to how to work with her, because it was either lead or be led. And so when you work with people, what are some of the most common mistakes that you see dog owners doing with their dogs?
If we could love our dogs into being and just be able to just love them into being good, we'd have good dogs. But dogs are, just like you found out, dogs are looking for us to be a leader.
Yeah.
And if we're not going to be the leader, then they're going to be the leader.
Yeah.
And that's generally where the problems start, is that the dog is filling that void and saying, well, I want to be fed now. I always tell you when I want to be fed, and you always feed me. So we're all training our dogs all the time. It's just a matter of training what you want them to do.
Yeah.
And that's how I come in and I help people. I work with the small areas and the big areas, and we start right in a client's home with, how do you feed your dog? What do you feed them? When do you feed them? Do you leave the dish out all the time? Do they eat all their food all at once? And then we back it up to put you back in control.
Yeah.
You're going to feed your dog, and you're going to make them sit, and you're going to make them wait for their food.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter how long they have to wait for it until they can just settle down. So you want to feed your dog when he's calm and relaxed.
Yeah, that was one of the biggest takeaways that I had, and having seen you bring your pets into where I'm at to see them in their environment. What does a typical engagement consist of when you go into somebody's home? Is it typical, atypical? What's it look like?
I've got a foundation program that is generally what I steer people towards, unless they've got a small puppy. And I've got a puppy program that's just 3 sessions, and we go over the little basics. How to have a puppy, how to walk with your puppy, how to engage with your puppy, how much sleep does your puppy need. And then for the others who have older dogs that are really struggling, I have a foundation program that's 6 sessions, 6 one-hour sessions in their house. And we start small. We go over the basics, but we also address every question that the client might have. He barks at the neighbors. He only barks at my one son when he comes over, you know, and then we work through those issues that are really specific to that family and that dog, but it's a bigger picture on how to put everybody in the family in control and feel comfortable with the dog.
Yeah.
Because many times you'll walk into a household and somebody really, really loves the dog, and somebody else is like, they've had enough of the dog. Yeah. They're ready to give the dog up. And it's so hard to watch. And I really work carefully with families so that everybody gets honored, everybody gets heard, and then you can rebuild your connection. Maybe you don't like your dog anymore, and you're ready to let him go. Yeah. And sometimes you may come to the conclusion that this wasn't good for you.
Yeah.
And it's too much to have to manage. And sometimes people get a dog that is way too much energy for them. They want a couch potato, and they've gotten a Weimaraner.
Yeah.
And so it's finding that balance. Well, maybe you need a little less couch, you know, and the dog is going to help you get more exercise.
That's my wife always, every time they release 101 Dalmatians, she hates it because everybody wants to go get a Dalmatian because they love the beauty of it, but don't realize what temperament type of dog it is. So, but I always love when you bring your pets in, and one of the examples is sitting right here in front of us, Darla, who hasn't made a peep at all. She's not an old dog, she's a young chicken too. So how old is Darla?
She's 7.
7 years old, and she hasn't made a peep at all. She's so well behaved. How did you get Did you get Darla as a puppy, or?
Got her as a puppy from the rescue. I would always tell people, don't go online looking for dogs. You can't really judge them. You're not sure what you're getting. So after our old blonde lab died, Cosmo, I said, well, I'll just start looking. Well, when this cute little face popped up, she looks a lot like a dog I'd had in my 20s. That was like my first dog. And I was like, oh no, there she is. Well, she's a lot of dog. I could tell by looking at her that she was going to be really spunky. And I said, oh. So I called the rescue. Yeah, you get a 2-week return policy on it. Like, 2 weeks? Once you get the dog in the house, it's not going anywhere.
Right.
So she continues to push me to keep me on my toes, keep me fresh, and by just being naughty and doing dog things.
Yeah.
And that's what I tell my clients is that, you know, I help you train your dog. I help you get your dog to a good point, and I give you a lot of tools to maintain that then. 6 sessions isn't very long, but through that repetition that the client's going to maintain after we finished up, that dog is going to learn what's expected of it.
Yeah.
But they're always going to be the ones that like push you a little bit harder and say, I'm going to see what I can get away with today. And it's usually when you're most tired or the kids are acting up and you're at the end of your rope.
Yeah.
And then that's it.
Wow. Well, I want to thank you for inviting me into your home, beautiful home. Why don't you tell people out there how they can get a hold of you if they want to request your services?
Certainly. You can find me on Facebook. You can find me on Instagram. My website is coachyourdog.com. And I look forward to hearing from you. If you've got a question, I'm happy to answer it. My email's on my website. You can email me and ask me questions. And I look forward to meeting you, and thank you so much for this opportunity.
This has been awesome. And if you haven't seen Sarah up close and personal with her pets, it's amazing. I mean, you'd be astonished with the work that she can do. And so I just wanted to thank you again. You know, if you guys have any questions about Sarah Prescott and her business, or any other questions for me, I'd love to hear from you. You guys know you could always find me or call and text me at 781-789-5128. And you know you can always find me at mistalista.com. And until I see you out there, happy house hunting. This has been great. Darla. Hi, Darla. What are you doing? Let's get some nose.
She says, oh yeah.